screen. There we go. Hi. Some of it is stuff you might have even forgotten existed. I am Tom Hutchison. I suppose I'm the leader of this ridiculous little band. My cohorts are here. Mr. Jim E. Noble, what's going on?
Happy to be here.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
It's Saturday night.
Oh my God. And we'll take care of that right now. No problem. We're not going to do those puns here, sir.
Woo.
And shaking his head in approval. Mr. David Fought, our customary third wheel. What's going on down in the what is it, Missouri? The Show Me State?
I'll show you.
Is it? Is it the Show Me State?
Yes, it is.
See, look at that. Look at that.
Bird?
Educational. You get entertainment and education here on scene 1, take 3. Tonight we're going to dive into kind of a strange world of adaptions, but most specifically Saturday Night Live. When I looked over the list of these movies, number 1, I was surprised at how few there actually were. I was like, wait a minute, I feel like there should be at least 8 or 9 more of these things. Where the hell are they? And then as I looked at the list of these things and I realized, what the hell did they do? They chose some really weird stuff that really didn't succeed, and therefore there's probably shouldn't be more of these things. One thing I do want to talk about as we get into the show is I want to come back to the show itself and some of the skits that we know, and I'm curious as to what you guys would think would make a good movie out of the stuff they haven't done. So we'll dive into some of that as well. So to start, I just want to dive into the list a little bit here, because the first of these was done in 1980. So you're talking about 42 years ago now.
God.
42 years ago was the first ever Saturday Night Live adaptation, which was the Blues Brothers, of course, Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi. John Belushi. Sorry, John Belushi. Yeah. Jim is the other guy. Yeah. John Belushi.
He's in Blues Brothers 2000.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. John Belushi. Yes, John Belushi. Bluto. Yeah. That was, now here's the other thing. For me, Saturday Night Live, I don't know when it started. Did it start in the 70s, right?
1975.
Yeah. 1975. So I was way too young to know what the hell's going on with Saturday Night Live. I can't even really remember the first time I saw the show. I have no recollection of like Saturday Night Live is something we should be watching, but it clearly was in the 80s because that's when I was a teenager and I started to kind of like figure some things out and whatever. But I really legitimately have no concept of where did Saturday Night Live start for me. So that's a little weird. It's like this weird gap. Because normally I can look at something and go back and pinpoint it, like, oh, I remember like Eddie Murphy was Gumby or something, you know. But yeah, and his buckwheat sketch and all that. But most of that I saw in some form of like a rerun or something. So Saturday Night Live is a really weird experience for me. I was never really big on it, as far as like, oh, who's on Saturday Night Live this week? Who is whatever, you know, not just the regular guests, but like the stars.
The Kiss special.
So it's weird. This is a little bit of a weird thing for me. And the Blues Brothers, I have never seen.
Wait, what? Cancel the show.
Never,
shut it down.
Never seen it. Never seen it. Now,
I'm out.
Now, I was watching it. I was watching it before we got here. Right, I was like, because I have a Plex server with a friend, and I was like, he's got to have this movie, and sure enough, he did. And so I turned it on like about an hour before we started.
Oh, you didn't even finish it,
dude. I couldn't finish it. I was so
The
bored.
band.
I was so bored.
They're getting the band together, and Ray Charles shows up, and Aretha Franklin shows up.
Jim Brown is in there. I saw it. I saw it.
They want two fried chickens and a Coke and white bread.
Yep,
and toast.
So I'm going to let you, because you guys both clearly have seen it. I assume you both like it. So I'm going to let you start this whole thing off because I didn't care back then.
Carrie Fisher.
Nothing about it has ever made me want to watch it until this show, and I was like, okay, let's just turn it on. And I still don't want to watch it. So go tell me what Blues Brothers is, and outside of we're on a mission from God, like I know elements of it just because it's 40 years old, right? I know elements of it, but go. And also really quickly, tell me about this. If you know, tell me about the skits on the show. Like how did it evolve? Do you know?
I think I'm pretty sure. Because during the early days, so, SNL today, they have the guest of the week. Right. They usually have a musical guest. Sometimes, early on, it would be a musical guest or a comedian. George Carlin was the first guest on SNL to do what would have been the musical bit. But it was George Carlin.
Okay.
Andy Kaufman was a musical guest, technically. Yep. And he just came on with a record player and then sang the theme to Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yep. So I think the way I don't know the full story, but I think what probably happened was, hey, our guest canceled this week, and then John Belushi was snorting coke and go, I got an idea, I can play the blues.
Yep.
And
that's exactly it.
Dan could join in.
That was it. That was basically it. They always had them queued up in case the guest didn't show up. Like if the musical guest didn't show up, it was Blues Brothers night. So that's how it started. And then,
seriously?
Yeah,
that's bizarre. Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, the show didn't start out with like we're gonna have a guest every week. Yeah. Like the budget wasn't just
it's like us every 6 episodes we have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because, granted, like 10 years from now, when we have a guest every week and there's a musical guest, then.
When we had Britney Spears on for the 15th time.
I mean, what's not to like about the Blues Brothers? I know you saw this scene, Tom, where they're in the car, they're in the cruiser, and Elwood's just like, it's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. And then John Belushi is like, hit it.
Yeah. I mean, it's too old for me to not know stuff about it. But and the gist of it from I saw is he gets out of jail. The church needs money.
Yep.
Like that's the story, right?
Illinois Nazis. I hate Illinois Nazis.
Yeah, I hate Illinois Nazis.
What's funny is two things, because again, I only got about 30 minutes in and I was like, no, I'm out. But two things immediately struck me because I've lived in Illinois. So they had the Mount Pleasant cruiser, and I was like, I know exactly where that is because I lived like right there. So that was kind of funny. The other part that I was immediately laughing was when they're taking Belushi out of jail at the very, very beginning, and they're giving him all of his stuff, like here's your hat, here's your glasses, whatever.
Here's condoms.
That dude, same thing in Trading Places when they're booking Dan Aykroyd, and he's like, one watch, put it over here, one this, put it over there. It's
damn.
I never caught that.
I didn't either.
Yep.
Huh. What do you know?
And I already brought you something. I haven't even seen the damn movie, and I already brought you something.
Well, and for me, like back then, and still to this day, like I don't know, I'm gonna get hell for this. I'm a huge car fan. I love car movies. I love Smokey the Bandit.
Smoking the Bandit, yeah.
I love Smoking the Bandit.
See, I'll let you get into you. For me, the car stuff is really hit and miss.
Yeah.
Like I love Smoking the Bandit.
Yeah.
But there has to be something going on with the cars besides the chase.
Yeah.
For me to latch on to. And I was really struggling to latch on. And I like John Belushi, Animal House and so on. But I was really struggling to latch on to these guys.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, that does happen. But I always like, because you miss the ending, they have like massive ass car chases in this. I mean, they have some badass crashes in this damn thing. I mean, the stunts they did in this, holy crap. Like, I'm still to this day, like, it's one of those you can go back, and if you're bored and want to see cool stunts, watch the ending of it. So it kind of disappoints me. You didn't make it to the ending because it has some cool stuff.
I didn't make it to I didn't make it to the middle.
The car pile up, the police car pile up.
Yeah, the police car pile
up. Yeah, Tom, you had all week. Well, okay, you had less time than our usual show. Like, so you could have spent all day today watching all those movies, and then we would have done it tomorrow usually. But I get it. You had to have left day.
Well, we'll let this slide.
We'll let you pass. We'll give you a free pass.
I don't know. I don't know, man. And so see, it's John Landis too. Thomas was saying it was John Landis movie, and I like John Landis as a whole.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Has a good track record. It's one of those things that.
By the way.
What's that?
Yeah, you might keep cutting out, Tom.
I'm cutting out?
Yeah, like your mic cuts out every few seconds.
Yeah, I thought it was just on my end, but since Jim said something, I'll go ahead and say it too.
Okay, well, we'll see what's going on here.
Yeah, we'll let you know if it does it again, but it keeps kind of like for a few seconds.
It's one of those movies that I think I'll probably see at some point. I will be like, okay, this movie. But tonight was not it. But I just couldn't get into it. Interesting. This is one of the most successful of them all. It actually made $115 million back in 1980. So it for a 1980 movie.
It's interesting how successful it was, and then they were just like, all right, we're not going to do any more skit movies. Like, we're just going to Blues Brothers is great, leave it at that. And then for the next decade, they went through their whole 80s era of SNL. Well, also the 80s was like a change of command kind of thing. Like Lorne Michaels left the show after 1980. He didn't come back until 1985. Eddie Murphy was in SNL in I think it was the 80 was the first season he was on. He was on the show at 18 years old or 19 years old. He was the youngest cast member until Michael Anthony Hall. Yeah. Michael Anthony Hall was on the worst season of SNL with Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
And of all the cast members on that season, the only one to come back was John Lovitz, and I believe what's his name, news guy did the Newsweek. Dennis Miller.
Norm Macdonald.
Dennis Miller was also
Dennis Miller. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's going back
at the end of that season, of that worst season. There's the ending sketch of that season was there's a fire in the studio. Lorne Michaels comes in and he goes, "Oh, don't worry, John, you're safe." And then like there was a thing that came up said, who will come back next season? Who will survive? None of them came back.
Wow.
Lorne Michaels was like, "Don't worry, John, I got you." Like that was part of the whole skit. Like you grab John Lovitz and then.
Wow.
Season, you get Dana Carvey, you get I think Phil Hartman. That's when Phil Hartman came in too.
Yeah.
Phil Hartman. You know what's real funny is so John Lovitz and Phil Hartman were on the Groundlings over in California, and Phil Hartman was on the Groundlings long before John Lovitz was, but John Lovitz got the gig at SNL before Phil Hartman did, ironically enough. So I'm not gonna. I know a little bit too much about SNL in the 80s.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
No, that's good, man.
This is an education for me because again, a lot of this stuff is just like seeing stuff on like VH1, like behind the story of Saturday Night Live. You know.
Yeah. but and then the next movie obviously was Wayne's World. That was the next.
Yes.
They were like, let's do Wayne's World,
and that was 12 years later.
God. 12 years. Out of all those skits. And you know what's real crazy is the success of Wayne's World. Then they were like, well, wait a minute. We did Coneheads, and Coneheads was a 70s SNL skit.
Yeah.
They waited till the 90s to do a script about it. To do a movie.
Well, I'm pretty sure that once you had Wayne's World, which was the biggest success of all of the Saturday Night Live movies, then they were like, "Oh, okay, let's mine this a little bit and see what we can get." Saturday Night Live, Wayne's World, 1992.
Damn.
All made 183 million. So not monster gangbusters considering you're in the 90s, but it was still good. Especially when you're talking about 20 million budget.
Right. And then let's see, after Wayne's World was Conan's, and they did Wayne's World 2, and then they're like, all right, let's do something else. And then they followed it up with It's Pat.
Yep.
And It's Pat. Yeah. It's Pat was only, you know how long It's Pat was in the movie theaters for?
A week, wasn't it?
A week.
Yeah,
it was a movie. It did so bad. It made $60,000. It made more. We make more in a year than what it.
Yeah. All three of us combined.
Literally, It's Pat came out, and then they took it out of theaters. And Tom, you'll love this. For that year, for the Razzie Awards, it was nominated for. Hold on, I was actually just reading this. It was nominated. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so It's Pat was a multiple third place nominee at the 16th annual Raspberry Awards. Though the film's cast and crew lost in every single category that they were nominated in, you know what they lost to in every single category? They lost to Showgirls.
Yes,
that's right.
That's right. Worst actress, worst new star, worst picture, worst screen. Couple were screenplay. They all lost to Showgirls.
That's wonderful.
That's right.
It did so badly. It made on a budget of,
and yet Showgirls actually made some money. But It's Pat.
$8 million, and they only made 60,000. And the studio was just like, pull it from the theater.
Pull it.
Done.
Yeah, because didn't Showgirls make kind of ridiculous money for as bad as it was supposed to be?
Well, yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't a huge budget, and it made money just because it was a skin flick, basically.
Yeah.
But it was no gangbusters of a hit in any capacity. Obviously, we've talked about Showgirls a little bit.
That's
but
in the whole show.
But yeah, so going back to.
Your mic cut out again.
Yeah, cut out again.
Okay, let me see if I can make this dumb mic thing work. I'll be back.
Okay.
Welcome to Scene 1, Take 2 with David Fight and Jimmy Noble. Here we are.
How you guys are doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
So I was just thinking, Showgirls, it got the boobs going on and everything, and we could do this show real quick. This is the intermission, and
yeah. We're here to talk about boob scenes and all the movies that you love.
You produce the boobs, I draw the boobs. So here we go.
So this is actually our spin-off show.
Yes. We talk the boobs.
The boob show. Guys.
Two guys.
We're the Boobs brothers.
The boobs.
Woo!
Sorry, I don't know why the hell that got me. There's something there. We have to think of that. Oh, he's back. Never mind.
Oh, he's back. Okay,
so, Saturday Night Live was brilliant.
Two boobs, one screen. I'm not sure if this is working. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You sound good now.
Okay. My volume's down or something because it sounds. Oh, there we go. It sounds weird in my ears.
Can you hear me now?
Now
you sound better.
How about now?
All right. I think I had my volume down too low, which was part of the problem. But so Wayne's World was a huge hit. I think we can all
times excellent. Woo woo woo.
I think that Wayne's World probably. I mean, it was a good movie, but I think a lot of it was the music. A lot of these nowadays it's like, let's make an '80s movie. Let's put some 80s music in it. Like, you have a pretty good chance of success just on that alone. But when you're with Wayne's World, it was it was doing that way before its time. But I think you just had these ridiculous characters. I think you had the sing along stuff. It just all worked.
Yeah.
And of course the sequel was terrible. I mean, for whatever, all the things that worked in the first one, the second one was like, oh, hey, here's Drew Barrymore. Oh, I'd very much look forward to sleeping with you. I was like, what the hell is happening here? This is really weird. I'm
good.
But to go from Wayne's World, so we have a success. Okay, so Saturday Night Live was like, okay, what can we do now? Here's 1993. Now, 1993, was that Jurassic Park as well?
That was also Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Yeah, so Jurassic Park here. Interesting. So we're talking about now SNL is like, well, let's get into the sci-fi business and do Coneheads. For me, this is for me, it's at the top of the list for most of these movies. I like Wayne's World, but Coneheads is so freaking weird. Dan Aykroyd and oh my God, who's the girl?
That's in bed.
Jim, something Franks or something. What's her name?
To somebody. Hold on.
Jane Curtin. Jane Curtin.
There we
Jane
go.
Curtin. Jane Curtin's amazing. Like she was in Third Rock from the Sun. She's amazing. So you have Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin. They're fantastic in those roles. You got some legitimate like sci-fi stuff, stop motion with Narfel the Garthog. You know, I love Coneheads like so much.
David Spade.
Yep. Chris Farley.
Yeah, it was loaded with cameos. With cameos.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of these guys were SNL people, you know, at the time.
John Lovett.
So they're just throwing them all in there. It's like, let's just take everybody that's on SNL and put them in a movie and have some stop motion and we should be fine. You weren't fine. $33 million budget, which is almost the highest budget of all of them. Oddly enough, Wayne's World had the most, probably because they had to pay some people.
Damn.
Alice Cooper's not cheap, man.
Yeah.
$40 million for Wayne's World too. $33 million for Coneheads. But Coneheads apparently was only released in the United States as well. There's most of these were only released in the United States, which is kind of interesting. Coneheads goes 33 million budget, pulls in 21 million on the back end. So
wow,
it did not land.
You lose. Good day. And you don't see Dan Aykroyd in an SNL movie until 2000, which is obviously it's. Well, now there's one that came out after It's Pat that also did very poorly, which, considering that the two people that were behind of making this movie are actually very successful, well-written comedic actors and writers, Harold Ramis and Al Franken, Senator Al Franken, Stewart saves Stewart saves
his family.
Yeah, saves his family. That's what it is.
Which this is a movie. I remembered It's Pat. Like when I was looking at the list, I was like, oh yeah. Okay. I vaguely remember that happening, and apparently it was out for a week, which is crazy. When I saw the Stewart one, I was like, oh shit, that's right. They did a Stewart movie too. Like, how do you go from It's Pat, that is such a complete tank job, to what are we going to do next? How about that Stewart guy who's looking in the mirror all the time? Like, what is going on?
Okay. I'm good enough. I'm blessed enough. And doggone it, I was.
Nobody likes me because nobody saw my movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a cheap movie. $6 million.
Oh damn.
$6 million. 900,000 it made.
Yeah.
It made 900. It didn't break $1 million.
No.
Wow.
No.
Hell, hey, it made what, 3.5 times the amount that It's Pat made. So
well, true.
They did pretty. If you just compare it to It's Pat, they did really well.
Look, It's Pat was so 8, 19, 14. So $14 million between those two movies in 94 and 95. $4 million is their cost. They didn't make $1 million back on both movies.
I think that's maybe why they went with a franchise that people had already known for the next one, for Blues Brothers 2000, because they're like, well, we did Blues Brothers and that did really well, so let's bring it into the. Actually, it's Blues Brothers 2000 came out in 1998.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was normal for back then. It was like everything that was like there was like Death Race 2000 and all that kind of crap.
Oh,
And it was
2001: A
prior.
Space Odyssey. It's 1950.
Yeah. You're trying to go into the future for whatever purpose.
And
But yeah,
you could put Jim Belushi in the role of John Belushi, but it's just not the same. They did that on SNL. Jim Belushi was a cast member on SNL after John Belushi, and it's just not the same. You can't.
Yeah, you had John Goodman in there too.
Yeah. John Goodman, Dan Aykroyd, Joe Morton.
And they've appeared down in Branson, like as the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, they still tour.
Announcing.
They still tour today.
Yeah, they tour a lot down in Branson.
If Dan Aykroyd isn't selling his Crystal Skull vodka, he's touring with Jim Belushi with the Blues Brothers. Literally, that's his life now. Like he's milked that since for 41 years now.
I have a goddamn Ghostbusters picture I need to have him sign. I've got Ernie Hudson signed, so I need him next.
They have Blues Brothers restaurants.
They do?
Yes, they do.
Oh hell!
Like still, or they used to?
I know they did like 4 or 5 years ago when I was in Disney World. One of the Disney World places had a Blues Brother themed restaurant. Yeah, they were selling Blues Brother merchandise, shirts, and everything. I got a shirt, which I couldn't find today, of course. I was like, out of all the shirts I could wear today, it would be that one, and then I don't have it. I'm like, damn it. Yeah. And then that was followed by Night of the Roxbury, which of all the now, granted, Wayne's World, yes, they had a lot of rock and roll hits and everything, but when it comes to soundtracks, Night of the Roxbury probably has the best soundtrack to any of the SNL movies.
Yeah, and the Blues Brothers was 28 million and only brought in 14, so it also got cut right in half. So you have a 3-movie swing of massive losses.
Wow.
From 94 to 98, and Night at the Roxbury was also 98. It was late 98.
Oh, damn. So 2 in 1 year.
Yeah. And this one actually made a little money, 17. Yep. And it made 30 million. I mean, I don't know necessarily. I mean, Emilio, I'm assuming that this movie was based on the old Steve Martin and Dan Aykroyd thing. 2 wild and crazy guys. Like, this feels like it's an updated version of that, right?
Well,
it was. I feel like I always felt like it was like not rip it off, but it was
not a rip off, but just like in that mode.
Yeah. Well, they probably were inspired when they came up with that sketch.
Yeah.
For SNL. Actually, you know what's real funny about what's his name? Not Will Ferrell, the other guy. I always forget his name. Chris Kattan. So
who was invited to join us, by the way, on Twitter. I sent out an invite. I'm checking Twitter now just in case he's replied.
So I was watching Jim Brewer, who you may remember from such films as what's the one with fucking where he's high as fuck. Half Baked, yes. Yeah. You may remember him as a stoner from Half Baked. He was also Goat Boy and Joe Pesci on SNL. And
Corky Romano. I'm sorry. I know everybody goes, I love that damn movie. I don't know why. It's one of those guilty pleasure ones.
I don't remember Corky Romano at all. I remember it existing, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Well, it's a lot of people knows it. They're like talking about
But so Jim Brewer was saying that so Pam Anderson hosted the show, right? It was a week that Pam Anderson on. This was during when Norm Macdonald was still on SNL. Norm Macdonald, Chris Kattan, Jim Brewer, and Will Ferrell, I think was on there as well. So they were doing a So what happened was Norm Macdonald goes up to Jim Brewer and he goes, "Well, I'm the news guy around here, so don't write me in any of your sketches. If I'm in a sketch, it's going to get approved because usually they have to go through the approval of what goes on that week. So like, there's always like sketches that get dropped.
Sure.
And he goes, if I'm in a sketch, I can guarantee you it's going to go to air." That's what Norm Macdonald's telling Jim Brewer, and he's like, "Okay." So then then 2 years go by, and they do Pam Anderson's coming on. They're going to do a Twilight Zone sketch. Now you can look on YouTube and find this on YouTube. So the Twilight Zone sketch, what happened was the week leading up to the show, Chris Kattan's in the sketch, and so like Norm Macdonald, like whenever they rehearse it on Wednesday, then they
Mm.
recorded it on Thursday just in case they have a show in a can just in
Good
case
question,
something
Tom.
goes wrong. And so what happened was, so Norm was like just like bombing the entire sketch up until the live show. He was just like, imagine if you will, another place in time. And it's just Norm Macdonald being Norm Macdonald. And so Chris Kattan would be like, oh, God damn it, Norm, we're hanging out here, Pam Anderson. You're ruining the sketch. This is my chance to kiss Pam Anderson. You're ruining it. You're ruining everything. And then like Jim Brewer's getting mad. He's like, Norm, you're not going to say anything. He's just like, just let it happen. So then it gets to we're Saturday night. The show, it's the first sketch of the night. They do the opening, the host opening, the monologue, right, and then the first sketch, onto the stage, Jim Brewer, Norm Macdonald, Pam Anderson, Chris Kattan, Will Ferrell. So it's in the sketch, like they all have pig faces, and so Pam Anderson's in the bed, and she reveals herself. She's got a normal face, so like the surgery was a success, and then they go, oh, she's so ugly, like because they have the pig faces, so that's like normal to them. So right before they go live, he's like, God damn, like Chris Kattan's just yelling at Norm Macdonald. He's like, God damn it, Norm, you're gonna ruin the sketch. You're gonna ruin it. Everyone, like Pam Anderson's not gonna want to hang out with us because you're gonna bomb the sketch. And then he's like, and then they go 1 minute, like 1 minute right before they go live. And then so Norm's smoking a cig, throws it on the ground, stomps it out, and he goes, hey, Pam Anderson, did you know that Chris Kattan's gay? And then he's like, he's so gay that he's afraid to tell you, even though he's talking about making out with you, just so we don't think he's gay. And then they go, and we're live. And so then it cuts to, and Norm does like the perfect, opening, like imagine if you will. And then if you go on YouTube, look at this, Jim Brewer and Chris Kattan, they have their back to the camera, so you could see Jim Brewer going like this the whole time because he's laughing. He's laughing so hard, and you look at Chris Kattan, and Chris Kattan apparently is going, God damn, motherfucker. Like, but yeah, apparently Chris Kattan was not well liked by Norm Macdonald.
Oh, wow.
I guess I know.
Tom, that's a
but
good
Night of the
question.
Roxbury, great movie.
But
yeah, Night of the Roxbury is definitely higher on the list for me.
Yeah.
It's one of, here's the thing, Will Ferrell for me is like really
hit or miss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like semi-pro, that's a no.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. But yeah, this one, and I don't think it was necessarily even Will, but it was the two of them. They clearly have, the I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the combination, the charisma, the working together that makes it good. I do remember they did this sketch on SNL, and they had Jim Carrey come on and be part of it too. They're all doing this thing, which was good. I remember that. So this Night at Roxbury was good. The only thing I didn't really like was it ran into the whole cliche of like, well, let's find a way to split up the brothers and have them work back to be brothers again. I'm just like, oh my God. Okay, fine. Whatever, dude. But 17 million, it did make 30.
Damn.
Again, no international release still.
Well, I think it's because
Wow.
SNL is an American show, and not everybody at the time, at least at that time, they don't really know SNL.
The first two went. Blues Brothers went overseas. It made half of its money there, 58 million. In fact, both of the movies, Wayne's World also went overseas. It made half of its money there. Sorry, it made a little bit more than half, but yeah, it made a good amount.
Maybe it's because of the music. Maybe because the music,
copyrighted,
and people know that music that they use.
Yeah,
possible.
But then the Blues Brothers 2000 didn't go over anywhere.
Well, true.
That's true. Well, maybe they were like, we've had enough of the Blues Brothers.
Or maybe we've had enough of It's Pat and Stewart and all these tank job movies.
There was another movie that I thought I could have sworn was an SNL movie. Austin Powers. I thought Austin Powers was an SNL movie.
See,
man.
I did too.
Come on, Austin, dude. America would have changed if there was Austin Powers skits on SNL. Like the entire culture would have changed. I mean, it did just from the movie itself, but
Mike Myers as Dr. Evil. It has been said that that's his impression of Lorne Michaels.
Yep. But I was the same with Jim. I could have sworn I looked it up that Austin Powers was a skit on Saturday Night Live, and it's not. Yeah, I was like, damn.
I thought Tommy Boy was an SNL movie, not a skit, but a SNL movie.
Me too.
But it wasn't. But I think it was produced by Lorne Michaels.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Most of these are produced, and yeah, there's definitely the idea that hey, like these guys are all stars. Let's make movies with them, versus the skits. So that's definitely a thing. I mean, all of these guys, Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, all these guys made way more movies than what they tried to do with SNL stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look, so I'm looking at the producer credits for Lorne Michaels. Three Amigos makes sense. Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, both SNL,
and Martin Short.
And Martin Short, yeah. He was a producer because that was another movie that came up when I searched SNL movies. Like Three Amigos came up. I'm like, that's not. I mean, it's got those guys in it, but yeah,
it's SNL cast, but it's not a skit. Yeah,
right, yeah. So like Tommy Boy is, Black Sheep is. None of the Sandler movies is. I think it was because they fired Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
but they also fired Chris Farley, but for other reasons. But yeah, Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, Hot Rod. I thought was an SNL movie with Andy Samberg.
Oh, okay.
See, I thought that was too.
That's a really good one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I like Hot Rod. I'll drink green tea all goddamn day. That's one of my favorites.
He's like, what?
I thought it was an SNL skit too.
Huh. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, go ahead.
Oh god damn it! What was? Oh yeah, so Superstar was the next movie after that.
Yeah, that one is so weird to me. I mean, Molly Shannon is like, not a schoolgirl. Like none of this visual makes any sense to me. And the whole shtick with her on SNL is just doing the superstar and then like falling into chairs. Like that's the skit. Like every time that's the skit. So what do we do for a movie, guys? Well, let's have her fall in some chairs and do superstar. And maybe she could like try and kiss a tree.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll put Tom Green in the movie.
Oh God, Tom Green was in there. I forgot.
As you do. It was so weird, man. Yeah. Oh my God, so weird.
Your movie wasn't weird enough. And then what was after that one? That one, and then the next one was.
Well, and here's the funny part: is Superstar made money.
No,
14 million budget, 30 million.
Oh my God!
In fact, it made $300,000 more than Night at the Roxbury.
And then we get back to the bomb. Now we're on to Tim Meadows, who was one of the longest running cast members on SNL. Yep. He's not obviously Kenan Thompson and what's the other guy? Daryl Hammond. Daryl Hammond and Kenan Thompson, longest running SNL guys, and then there's Tim Meadows. Like Tim Meadows is number 3, longest running cast member on SNL. But his movie, however, you can see why he went back to SNL and not making movies.
Yeah, I totally forgot this movie existed. This was another one that on the list. I was like, oh my God, yeah, Ladies Man. Here's another one. It's like, wow, hey, let's do this Ladies Man movie, man. And what are we gonna do with it? I don't know. What are we gonna do with it? It's
Yeah,
I forgot about that one.
Holy smokes! Holy smokes!
You could put Lando Calrissian in your movie and Will Ferrell, but it won't save it. But you'll still make 13 million on a budget of 24 million. But
and it actually, this was where it went overseas again. 126,000 overseas.
Oh my God.
for whatever that's worth.
Oh man, yeah. That. But then and then that's when they were like, all right, we're done of SNL movies. Then there's a whole another decade until you get another one. And this is the last SNL movie because there has been one in the last 11 years.
Ooh.
MacGruber.
Oh, yes. I saw that in the theater.
Which I feel like MacGruber should have been done sooner than it was.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a little late to do MacGruber at that point.
Yeah.
But they did it anyways. And they almost made their money back. They made 9.3 million on a budget of 10 million. But,
and they was that.
Yeah, MacGruber's another one that's like, and it was really touted too. I mean, it was getting all this like, it was getting critical.
They had a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, it was getting some critical acclaim in some capacities. Like it's the best action comedy in a long time, and this, that, the other thing. All I remember is him talking to Kristen Wiig and being like, "Oh yeah, I just took an upper decker in the toilet," and I'm just
God.
"This is
this
is stupid."
Was the guy that cut him off? It was someone that cut him off, or like something. He like memorized the guy's license plate, and then later on in the movie, like she's going through his notebook, and it's just the dude, his license plate, and like what's he gonna do when he finds the dude? Like he's like, and the car's on fire, he's on fire, like he's covered in bees, and like
covered in bees.
Without looking, do you guys remember who the bad guy was in it?
Yeah, it was Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Batman. No. It would have been cooler if they got Richard Dean Anderson though as the bad guy.
Yeah,
that would have been funny.
If they got MacGyver to be the villain of MacGruber,
that'd been great.
That would have been funny. Yeah.
Yeah, like why? I wonder why they never like. I don't know. Obviously, it's a parody to him. So like, why weren't they just like, hey, let's see if Richard Dean Anderson, like he was doing Stargate, and it's not like he was doing anything better than MacGruber.
Maybe he does. Maybe he didn't want it. Maybe he's offended by it.
Well, didn't he do a couple of skits on there with him?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Something like he done something like on the SNL that time. I think there was a couple times he was on SNL with him.
Richard Dean Anderson.
Yeah, look that up.
I met Richard Dean Anderson once, and I was very drunk. Nice guy. He got fat.
He got fat.
Oh yeah, he did. In fact, yeah, Thomas is right on that one.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a really horrible picture of him that's got turned into a meme, where it's him and he's like his car's broken down, so he's standing in front of his car like with the hood up, and it's talking about, hey, when you're I don't know, something about MacGyver and you're fat and your car broke down and you can't fix it. It's just like this depressing picture and meme.
So yeah, he was on SNL for 2 episodes as MacGyver in 2009, a year before the movie came out.
Yep.
So he was there. So why didn't they just ask him to be in the goddamn movie?
I know, that's the point I was bringing up. It's like, why didn't they just ask him to be in the movie?
Well, he was also on 6 episodes of Stargate Universe. Maybe he was like, well, I'm obligated to do Stargate now.
God damn it!
Damn Stargate.
I mean, Stargate got him through his 90s career, so I guess.
Stargate was a huge thing. It was huge.
It was huge.
It was.
I didn't watch it, but it was huge.
I tried watching it because it's on Netflix now, and I got I made like 7 episodes in on the season 1, and I was like, "There's 10 episodes of this? Fuck, I don't want to watch it."
Now there's one of those. I'm like with Tom. I couldn't make it through the movie.
I love the movie. I think the movie's fantastic.
I've never made it through Stargate. I love Kurt Russell. I love David Spade. I love all the actors. I love everybody in it, but I cannot make it through that movie.
I love the movie. It was supposed to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
It didn't do well. The toys didn't sell, and so it all got canned. But they reset it for the TV show, and I don't know. I don't know what happened. I just didn't care. I think a lot of it was because the actors were different.
Right.
And I liked
MacGyver playing Kurt Russell's character and Michael Schenker playing Ultron. What's his name? Fucking
yeah, exactly. And I love that guy. He's fantastic.
James Spader. Yeah,
James Spader's fantastic. So no, not David Spade, James Spader. Like David Spade in Stargate.
James Spader.
That's different.
Yeah, different.
Now David Spade is an SNL alum, man. He did funny movies.
Sure. David Spade is everywhere, but he has he has no skit movies, but he's been in everything. And he's in basically every Adam Sandler movie. Almost.
Well, not in the earlier stuff, but in the later stuff, yeah.
Yeah, in more recent stuff, yeah.
Yeah, because Farley was in the early Sandler stuff, like Billy Madison, he's in there. Like, no yelling on the bus.
God.
He'd have those one-liners in those movies, man. And then they're like, let's give him his own movie. And he did good on Tommy Boy, and they're like, let's do it, but with politics. And they're like, oh, this was a bad idea. Like,
never mind.
You can't you can't have Gary Busey and Chris Farley in the same movie.
They're the same person, man. They're both insane.
Two crazies that don't go well together.
Yeah, that's
Gary Busey.
That is
you got
not.
Rob Lowe. You do. Rob Lowe's fine, but
Rob
Gary
Lowe
Busey,
and Bo Derek was in that too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and Dan Aykroyd was in that movie.
Yeah. Yep.
That's right. Yeah, he was
He's
the
the Chicago, or was it Chicago? No, it was the Michigan muffler guy.
Muffler guy.
Muffler King.
Yeah.
King Muff.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. That's the whole Saturday Night Live history.
So we'll be back next week.
in a nutshell. Because that's really all there is a nutshell of it, which is kind of crazy. So it's been 12 years now since we've had a Saturday Night Live skit turned into a movie. And quite frankly, what the fuck have they done in 12 years that would, translate to a thing? I mean, I think if you were to do skits at this point, you would still have to go backwards to the Will Ferrell era.
Needs more cowbell, the movie.
I was gonna go right there. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine a Christopher Walken music producer movie? Like, holy shit, that would be funny. That could be like if you took the cowbell, right? The cowbell skit, but you made a movie out of Christopher Walken who's a music producer, and he's just making this crazy batshit music. That would be funny. I think that would be really funny. That's one of the things that I went to right away as I thought about it. Some of this might not be a movie value, but it might be like TV show stuff. And I don't know if they ever did this again, but they did one episode with Alec Baldwin, and they were on a radio and they were doing the sweaty balls.
Sweaty balls.
The two of them as radio hosts were really good. They were really funny. I feel like there might be something there that you could tap into and maybe just do like a short, like Netflix, 8-episode thing for these people trying, and basically it would be like Wayne's World. Like you put it in this time, in this sort of zone now where people are trying to do podcasts for real, like as a job. And they're on Zoom and they're doing YouTube and stuff. And you put them on YouTube doing sweaty balls. Like there's something there that could be done.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake and Andy Samberg, when they were doing all those Lonely Island songs.
Yes.
If they were to do a movie together, I think, because Justin Timberlake's been making movies and so is Andy Samberg, like, why did they ever do a movie together? Because those were done so well and so popular, like Dick in a Box, the trilogy is Dick in a Box, Mother Lover, and then Three-Way. Like, I have all these songs memorized. They're on my iPod. But yeah.
Oh my god!
But yeah, like why did they ever turn that into a movie? That was, I mean, those digital shorts that they would do with the Lonely Island guys, like it was so well done. And like they did Hot Rod, but I guess Hot Rod didn't do well enough for them. Like I think they did another movie called Pop Star, and then one of the Lonely Island guys was actually Chaka, and going back to Land of Lost, he was Chaka in Land of Lost.
Philip Paley.
He was the guy.
Philip Paley is Chaka.
No, not him. No.
Oh, the movie Chaka. The
movie Chaka. He was his brother. He was Hot Rod's brother in Hot Rod.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's that guy's name?
I don't know. I just know he's part of the Lonely Island. He's not Andy Samberg, but he's not the other guy, but he's that guy.
He's the third one. He's the David Font of the Lonely Island guys.
So that's correct. Yeah. So Mr. Smithers goes way back. He goes to oh my gosh, who's the guy? Who's the church lady? Who is that guy? Dana Carvey. Dana Carvey. Who had a movie? He had a couple of movies back in the day. One of them, he was like the master of disguise.
Master of disguise.
Yeah. Right.
Sucked so bad.
God.
He had his own show. He had the Dana Carvey show with Steve Carell and Steve who's the other nerdy Steve? Stephen Colbert. Colbert and Steve Carell were on the Dana Carvey show, and then that lasted 6 episodes.
Whoops.
Yep.
There's a whole thing. There's a whole documentary on that one on Hulu. The Natalie Portman. Yes, because Natalie Portman dated Andy Samberg.
I don't know what the Natalie Portman raps is. I don't know what that is.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
man. Oh, it's real. It's really good. It's really good.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
Is it literally just she raps? Like, what is it?
Yeah, and like Andy Samberg comes in and he's like, Natalie, you're a badass bitch, and she's like, say what? And then like, she's doing like this whole thing. She's like, I'm tired of these motherfucking Star Wars fans, and yeah, it's great.
Yes.
yeah, it's really great.
See that.
Yeah. And like, there's like
raps.
Andy Samberg is talking about having a great day and he's snorting cocaine. Yeah, and he's just like dancing in the street, and then
I remember that. I do remember that.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, what's his name? The guy he always does this. He plays the gay guy on the Weekend Update.
Oh, Bill Hader.
Bill Hader. Yes, Bill Hader as what's his name? As the guy. The guy's like he'll say something funny and then like cover his mouth because like he can't break character, but he's laughing every time he does that.
Weekend Update as a whole could be like a show, like about like a news place. You know what I mean? Like Anchorman was about a news place. Like you could do Weekend Update as a show. I think just guys making batshit news. Again, there's so much you can do now with a lot of these sketches because they're relevant to like what we're doing right now. The internet, everything's different. So you could literally, like, if we wanted to, we could make like our own CNN. Like right now, we could just be like, hey, we're going to tell you news every Sunday, night. And we're going to tell you some fucking news and just come on here and be like, some guy sank a boat in the Suez Canal and now we're all fucked, and just make up the most, use the facts, but then just like turn it into, entertainment like they do.
Yeah, kind of like the Onion.
Yeah.
Well, except that the Onion makes it all up. It's very, very little is based on any reality. But if you were to do a news show based on reality and just have people reacting to like real situations in like in ways that like just make no sense and just like this motherfucker, now I got to pay extra for my stuff from China, whatever.
I had to pay $1.50 more for my goddamn Cheerios.
That's right. See, now you get it. Yeah.
Hold on. So with Weekend Update has had hold on. I gotta make sure I'm getting all this right. So Weekend Update has had oh Jesus Christ, why am I getting other people? All right, there we go. All right, yeah. So Weekend Update, the first host for Weekend Update was Chevy Chase. So maybe they start the movie with like Chevy Chase and you're not, and they're like, all right, Chevy, like your time is done, and then they bring on like Norm Macdonald, Dennis Miller, I think was it Tina Fey and
Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler, yeah, Amy Poehler. They did really well. Not Josh. Was it Josh Myers?
Yeah, the one that Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers. Yeah, and then the guys I got now, the Colin Jost, who's married to Scarlett Johansson and Michael Che, just like these guys suck. I don't like them, man. I don't find like there's.
Just
I don't know.
Because he's married to Scarlett Johansson.
Colin Jost has like that face.
That's just the jealousy. That's just the jealousy.
Yeah, that's
thing.
the jealousy rising up.
Colin Jost is he's actually the head writer on SNL, or I think he still is. David Spade was the host of the Weekend Update, and then he made an Eddie Murphy joke, calling him a falling star, and then he had to apologize to Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That's funny. That's
don't say anything like that on here because we're gonna lose our deal.
Jim, you ignorant slut. You spelled that wrong. It's Jim, you ignorant slut, not Jim.
No.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
Jimmy Fallon was the host. It's funny how some of these guys have their own talk shows, like Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers. Seth Meyers, I don't find funny though. I've never been a fan of Seth Meyers. I don't know.
No, and he's got his own. Didn't he have his own show now?
Yeah, he's got a
late show.
Yeah,
that's what.
Fun. So here's a fun fact. So that's real. So it was Jimmy Fallon, then Tina Fey, and then Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, then Amy Poehler and Horatio Sands. So here's a fun fact about. Yeah. So in 1997. So the season, right before the season, where Horatio Sands and Jimmy Fallon and Chris Parnell, who is a well-established voice actor, he's in the Rick and Morty show, he's in, he's in a lot of cartoons now. So those three guys were going to be the featured players for that coming season of SNL. And there was supposed to be a fourth. Do you know who the fourth was supposed to be?
No.
My mom.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
What?
In 1997, my mother was a comedian. She used to open up for Roseanne Barr in the 80s.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was a comedian before she had kids. So in the 90s, she one of her friends was working on SNL as a writer, and they're like, you should come over to SNL and like try out because you're funny. And I mean, obviously she made me, so obviously she's funny. So so she goes to New York and does the whole she works there for like doing test scripts and all that, for SNL. And so they're like, okay, well, we want you to come work. We want you as one of the featured players, with the upcoming season with Jimmy Fallon and Horatio Sanz. Who I asked, I was like, well, what are those guys like? And she was like, they're a bunch of nerds. Like during that time, they're just a bunch of fucking nerds. Like they weren't what they are today, like these funny guys.
Damn.
And then so the reason why she didn't take the job though was because in 1997, my dad was in the Army and he was always like gone on deployment and stuff. And so she's like, well, I got to stay home and raise my kids, like me and my sister. And she didn't tell me this until probably 7 or 8 years ago. And I'm just like, you should have taken that gig.
So you destroyed her career, Jim.
Yeah, good job, Jim.
My mom could have been in It's Pat 2 and made a comeback, for that franchise, but no. Yes, literally. And I've never seen my mom ever do stand-up comedy ever, but apparently, she was friends with Roseanne Barr. She opened up for Roseanne Barr.
She should go back and do it now, just like, hey, my son writes clown porn.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then instead of laughing, everyone would be like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Damn, that's awesome, man.
But yeah, so that's what I mean. I think that's also another reason why I'm such into SNL now, because it's like, if you look at the late '90s and early 2000s stuff, it's like, fuck, man. Like my mom, we could have been rich, living in fucking mansions. Instead, I had to fucking leave the house when I was 18 to join the Navy. I could have been Pete Davidson. Literally got the gig at SNL because his dad was a firefighter who died during 9/11 in New York, and I feel like I could have taken the Pete Davidson role from Pete Davidson because they would have been like, oh, this is Tina Noble's son who's been on SNL for X amount of years. And they'll be like, yeah, let's bring her son as a featured guest. It would have just been like, come on in. But no, they gave it to Pete Davidson. The fucking
and you could have dated Ariana Grande.
Yeah, right. That could have been me. I could have had tattoos all over my body. I could have had the Mars Attack Martian on my chest.
There you go. See?
Needless to say, I'm not a fan of Pete Davidson. I don't think he's funny. I don't understand why they keep him and not push him off the show. Actually, with the exception of Kenan Thompson, ever since Bobby Monahan left the show, I've never been a fan of who they have on now. I don't think any of the guys they got on there are funny.
I agree.
Except for the host. Whoever the host is, like Eddie Murphy hosted, I'll watch that. But man, they got some trashy people on there. There's Kyle Mooney. It's like, that guy's a loser.
Oh, yeah.
This is coming from a guy who writes clown porn, who literally makes far less money than this guy. But Kyle Mooney, Bet Bennett, and then fucking something bullshit, something. He was on Robot Chicken. Mikey Day. Mikey Day's a voice actor on Robot Chicken, and he's on SNL.
So you could list the whole.
I'm on scene 1, take 3.
I don't watch it anymore. It's just.
I didn't even watch. I'm so removed from it now that it's like Dave Chappelle was on there, and I was like, oh shit, I like Dave Chappelle. But the funny thing is because of the way that the internet works now, I knew that the next day all of his skits would just be online. Oh, yeah. And so I was like, I'll just wait till tomorrow, and then the world can show me his skits. I don't have to watch it live.
Yep.
So I'm really just outside the box on SNL from the last, I don't know, decade maybe.
When they did the 40th anniversary, and all the surviving SNL alum were coming in and doing the whole red carpet event. They did an in memoriam, and at the end of the in memoriam, they were like, and John Lovitz, and there's a photo of John Lovitz, and then they cut to the audience, and John Lovitz is in the audience.
Audience,
he's going,
what?
You're next, John.
yeah. John Lovitz. There's a skit in the '80s where Danny DeVito was the host, and they're playing cowboys or something like that, or bandits or something, and he comes in and he shoots John Lovitz, and John Lovitz goes, "You shot me." And like that's all he keeps saying the whole skit, and like Danny DeVito's like trying to finish the skit, and he's like, and John Lovitz just like, "Yeah, shot me." That's the ticket.
That sounds like a Christopher Walken moment. Like just saying that over and over again. Like he would have cracked the entire audience. The entire cast would have just been dying.
I think it was the episode where he did the cowbell sketch, where Christopher Walken did the cowbell sketch. I think the Foo Fighters were I think it was that episode where the Foo Fighters were the guest or the musical guest, right? And so Dave Grohl was saying that right before they were about to go live, Christopher Walken came up to him and he goes, "How do you want me to say your names? Like, is it Foo Fighters or is it, you know?" And like, so he's trying to figure out the cadence of how he should say it in the way he says it. And like Dave Grohl was just like, "Oh wow, this is kind of mind blowing." Like Christopher Walken asking me how to say the band name and the way he speaks. So like so when the Foo Fighters comes on, he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters."
Oh, I remember that. I totally forgot about that.
That's pretty funny. Makes me laugh. Christopher Walken, funny guy.
That's interesting. That's a legitimate
that happened
like thing versus that's like how he does acting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, some of that because if you go back and watch something like The Dead Zone, for example, he's clearly not fully in Christopher Walken mode. There, you can see it, but he's not. Foo Fighters. He's not there. He's not there yet. So it's clearly something that he's kind of embraced over the years and you know, and kind of made it a shtick, which is fine. I mean, it's everybody expects it now. So I don't know if that maybe is like, oh yeah, I'm kind of tired of Foo Fighters, but it's who he is now. Was it him? I can't remember. It was him. Was he the one that was in the hot tub when they were talking about eating goat meat? No, that was Will Ferrell as the the old dude, the goat meat. Where our bodies were goat meat everywhere, and he's like, and they're all just dying in the hot tub.
Stringy mustache.
Yeah.
Ugh. Is that like supposed to be the hippie lover?
Yeah. No, it was Walken. It was Walken. I guarantee you it was Walken. Yeah, because he kept calling her lover. You know, yeah, that was Christopher Walken. Yes, in the hot tub doing the goat meat thing. Yeah. Oh, lover. Yeah.
Damn it.
I only remember the one like line that he has, that lover and goat meat. Yeah, we were drenched, our bodies were in goat meat. The juices were everywhere.
Oh God!
Oh, who was it? There was someone on it. Oh, it was Larry David. Larry David hosted a couple of years ago, and there was a skit where he literally could not finish the skit. He was breaking character so badly, like he was just like cracking up the whole time.
No.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time. We should probably do a walk-in show one of these days.
Yes,
I need a walk-in sort of retrospective.
That guy's up his ass in Pulp Fiction.
That guy's getting done so much stuff, man. So much stuff.
Sleepy Hollow. He was the Headless Horseman.
Yeah.
I was headless
for that one scene
for the movie, so I couldn't talk.
Anybody could have been in that.
No,
role.
he had one line.
Yeah, he did.
What was it?
Oh, Jesus!
You don't even know. He only has one line. Technically two, but it's like that doesn't really count. But he has
ever since I've seen that movie. I think it's like the last time I saw it was in
my head.
No, his line was shh. That was it. That's all he had.
Yeah, with the kids.
Yeah.
He looked at the kids and goes shh.
And then after that, everything was
all teeth, sharp teeth.
So who would you say is your favorite SNL actor or actress?
Oh God.
Mind you,
I mean,
Robert Downey Jr. is technically a SNL actor.
well, see, here's the criteria.
Mm.
Here you have to reset the criteria, because if you're going to say who's your favorite, are we talking about who's your favorite within SNL, or who's your favorite who's been SNL and is now just doing things?
Okay, let's do within SNL
I have
first.
to agree with that.
Within SNL first.
Within SNL.
Oh, okay.
Who? See, again, I'm going to struggle with this because I do like Kristen Wiig a lot. I like Kristen Wiig in basically anything. So anytime I see her and stuff, I'm usually into Kristen Wiig stuff. I'm trying to think back to like some skits that I saw like in the 90s and early 2000s, but I've been so far away from it that it's really, really hard. A lot of the older stuff, like I like Chevy Chase a lot and so on, but a lot of that older stuff just doesn't connect with me. So I'd probably say Kristen Wiig within Saturday Night Live.
Within Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, David?
Oh, Christy brought it back to just because you're trying to think. I started to say Dan Aykroyd, but I think I'm about to go with Bill Murray. I'm
that's
a huge
right.
fan of Bill Murray. I totally forgot about him being on Saturday Night Live because she said something. He's like, he was on Saturday Night Live.
But again, we're talking about within Saturday Night Live. So if you have no context of his skits, that doesn't count, sir.
Oh God. Jesus. I can't pick. I like Kristen Wiig. I loved Eddie Murphy.
See, and we got Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. I like them too.
I love both of them.
I think they're both really great.
I love what's her name that played Holtzman off of Ghostbusters, the Ghostbuster girl.
See, I don't find her to be funny at all.
I liked her in Ghostbusters.
Which one? Who?
The one Holtzman, the one that played. What's her name? It's on Saturday Night Live.
I have no idea what her name is.
The blonde chick.
The blonde from Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Man,
I don't find her funny at all.
See, what's her name wasn't in it? Was she
Leslie Jones was in it?
Leslie Jones and Kristen Wiig were in Ghostbusters.
Yeah. But what's her name was it? Was she the other one?
Tina Fey and Poehler?
No. Off Ghostbusters.
No, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
Bridesmaids.
McCarthy.
Yeah,
Jenny McCarthy. Not Jenny McCarthy. Jesus. The heavier girl, McCarthy. It's Jenny McCarthy, right?
Cousin, actually.
Oh yeah, you're talking about Michael Rappaport. Michael Rappaport's cousin.
I'm talking about
you're talking about girl, big girl.
McCarthy.
Yeah, Kate McKinnon was the one.
What's her first name?
Girl.
Kate McKinnon.
Yeah. And then I was talking about what's his name that wrote Ghostbusters?
Harold Ramis.
Gone. Yeah, Harold Ramis. Not
Harold Ramis.
God, no, I don't know.
Guys, what is McCarthy's name? Melissa McCarthy. Melissa McCarthy. There we go. I like her too. She was great in Bridesmaids.
Oh,
yeah.
She was fantastic. I really like her a lot. I don't like her in everything that she does, but because she does a lot of just kind of weird nothing stuff. But she was great in Bridesmaids. So yeah. Oh, Kate McKinnon. That's the
that's the other one.
We figured out but yeah, I do not get her at all.
She's weird. She's weird. That's why I like her. She's weird.
Yeah. So, and Jim, who's your favorite?
So, see, it's tough because I like a lot of. There's a lot of SNL stuff that I like.
It's your question, and you don't know the answer.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go with Bobby Monahan. I think Bobby Monahan is probably, because if we're just going off SNL, because if you look at anything that he's ever done outside SNL, it's not as funny. Mm-hmm. SNL itself, funny guy, and he's the nerdy guy. You know, he was the one who wrote the Avengers sketch when they had Jeremy Renner as the host, and he played the Hulk. And he's like, all right, Hulk smash. Like,
oh yeah.
Hawkeye's like, all right, good luck. I'm out of arrows. But yeah, definitely, I'll probably have to go with Bobby Monahan. Yeah, as far as the in SNL, not outside SNL, Bobby Monahan. But outside SNL, I mean, I probably have to go with Eddie Murphy. Or no, well, see, that's hard because Eddie Murphy, Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, all three of those guys are like top tier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Will
see, Eddie
Ferrell-
Murphy, honestly, Eddie Murphy wouldn't even be close for me because
Really?
while he's had a few good things, like his body of work is really bizarre.
All of his good
Yeah.
things were a majority of the good stuff is all in the 80s, and then
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just tapers off.
you get to Pluto Nash and
Whereas you have like Chevy Chase, who's basically
Norbit.
good throughout,
Yeah.
Bill Murray, who's basically good throughout. I love Tina Fey, like 30 Rock is fantastic.
you like Baby Mama.
I never saw people.
Oh, it was bad.
No,
was
I
bad.
didn't see Baby Mama. Alan, Jesus Christ, Adam Sandberg. He's a roller coaster guy, but I tend to like a lot of his stuff. Not all of it, but I tend to like a lot of Adam Sandberg stuff. I don't know. Picking. I'm trying to like think through my DVD collection and like who's there that I have the most of their movies. And it's
Probably Will Ferrell.
and I'm feeling. Oh no, I only have like. Do I have any Will Ferrell movies?
Wow,
Oh, man.
really? He's in a lot of movies. Adam Sandler.
I know. I must have something.
Damn, do we have any?
Do I own any Will Ferrell? Oh, I own Elf, of course. I own Elf.
I don't even have Elf.
But do I have any other Will Ferrell movies in the
Wow.
collection?
You don't have Old School or
No.
obviously you don't have Land of the Lost.
Nope.
No.
What's the other one? Oh, Step Brothers.
Step Brothers, yes.
I need
there you
that
go.
one.
Yes.
Talladega Nights. Talladega
I
Nights.
don't
I need
own it,
that
but
one.
I do like it. I don't
Wow.
own. See, I like Anchorman. I don't own that.
I have Anchorman one too.
Yeah, I got.
Did you guys ever see The House with him and Amy Poehler, where they make a casino in their house?
Yes.
I
that
did
was-
not see it.
That was pretty funny. That was pretty
That
funny.
was funny.
That's pretty good. Semi-Pro is terrible.
Thinking of Screaming is
of
terrible.
course, Zoolander, but he's not really the star, but he's in it.
Yeah.
Zoolander.
One
He's in
reason
the
I like
Austin
it.
Powers movies, but he, just
Right.
again background dude.
Which I have Austin Powers. I have all three of those.
But as far as like his starring roles, I don't have
Yeah.
a ton of his stuff in the collection. Elf for me is his peak. It's his masterpiece. And then probably Step Brothers, and then probably Talladega Nights, and then the rest is and then Anchorman. And then the rest is just kind of shaky stuff. But that doesn't answer the question. I feel like I have more Adam Sandberg movies than
Adam Sandler or Adam Sandler?
or Adam Sandler. I'm cross-pollinating the names.
Oh.
Adam Sandler, yeah. Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler had like for like a decade he had a hit movie up until like I think Mr. Deeds was like the last one that was like that actually made money. Or I'm sure the other ones made money, but like it slowly went in decline. Grown Ups was actually really good.
Grown Ups is a great movie. Grown Ups is a legitimately great movie. Now, don't watch the second one.
Oh,
The second one is
on.
the second one is legitimately
I own
terrible.
that
It
one.
is.
I own the second one,
I
and I don't
do.
remember why I even bought it.
Legitimately bad, but the first one is legitimately good. It gets and the thing with Grown Ups is that it's not your typical Adam Sandler movie. It's a complete left turn. He's family dude. It's a complete change of pace. And you have a cast of just masterpiece people in there, from David Spade to oh my God, I'm not gonna remember any of their names now.
Rob Schneider, David Spade, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, yep.
Isn't
the heavy
King of Queens, King of Queens
guy, yes.
Kevin James.
Kevin James, yeah. It's a great movie. It's a legitimately great movie.
Steve Buscemi's in it. Norm Macdonald's in it. No, Norm Macdonald's not in it.
Norm
No.
McDonald
Norm Macdonald was supposed to be in it, but I think Colin Quinn took his role.
Okay. I was thinking maybe he was one of the lackeys for Colin Quinn.
No, yeah, because he was supposed to be in it, but
Because
for
that's
some
Steve
reason,
Buscemi is one of the lackeys. Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's in that like when they're at the water park and he's like all like he's like caught up in the zip line thing. And,
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah. You know what's a really good Adam Sandler movie that doesn't really feature Adam Sandler? Shakes the Clown.
I of course you know about the clowns. Of course you know about clowns.
It's a second movie after Going Overboard, and it was written and directed by Bobcat Goldthwait.
Who I would swear is dead, but he's not.
He's still alive.
Yeah,
but he doesn't do like the crazy voice anymore. He doesn't.
Thomas has Click. Click was another one that was like outside the normal Adam Sandler zone. It was a pretty good movie. It was pretty good.
8 Crazy Nights, but I guess that was also like early 2000s still.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see Hubie Halloween?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. It's nothing special, but it was fine.
Yeah, he freaking drinks the eggs, and then he's just like, bleh, like.
How about Uncut Gems?
I couldn't get into
I need to watch that.
I feel like I'm that guy. I feel like I'm that guy where I'm like, I'm about to get the big score. Like, I'm about to get the money. I swear I'm about to get the money. Like, stop sending people after me. Like, I'm getting the money.
I think you got to be ready to watch a movie because it's not it's not Adam Sandler movie, right?
No, it's not.
It's more like a De Niro movie or something. You know what I mean? So it's a little strange watching him in the role, but it's really good.
I literally had a friend of mine went and saw it at the theater. And I remember him telling me like the first, I don't know what's going on, but like the first part of it, like he literally had to leave the theater, go out to concession stand, get something to eat and drink because he was literally shaking because of shit that was going on in it. Like it bothered him so much. He's like, I got to get some caffeine, guys. I'm sorry. I'll be back.
What movie was this?
The Cut Diamonds or whatever. What's it called?
Uncut Gems.
The Cut Gems.
It's basically kind of a gangster style movie-ish sort of. But I don't know. It's good. I mean, it's not like groundbreaking or anything, but for Adam Sandler in the role, it's like, whoa. You know, this is kind of like when Tom Hanks moved out of the comedies and started doing like Philadelphia and Forrest Gump and you know, what's the other one? Apollo 13 and all the serious stuff. It was kind of like, oh, Adam Sandler can act. That's interesting.
He said that if that movie didn't get an Academy nod, that he would do the worst movie ever. Which I don't know if that was Hubie Halloween or not.
I think he's already probably done the worst movie ever at some point.
Ridiculous.
There's some really bad shit in there. Jack and Jill is pretty horrendous.
Jack and Jill is pretty bad. I'm looking at the list now. Like, Jack and Jill. Let's see. Jack and Jill's. I think that's my boy. I thought that I liked it, but it was not a very good movie. That was Adam Sandler, Andy Samberg in those. Adam Sandler plays the father of Andy Samberg. Pretty funny movie. He produced a lot of movies. Jesus.
His Happy Madison has produced a million things.
Yeah.
I think Grandma's Boy is probably the best one on the whole list.
Oh God, yes.
I love Grandma's Boy.
That's true.
The Benchwarmers, Strange Wilderness, Pixels. He's in Pixels.
Yeah.
Which, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I like Pixels. I'm saying I'm saying it to the world. I have the Steelbook. Like, I don't understand the hate on that movie at all. Like, somebody's going to have to convince me that it sucks or something because I don't get it. I think it's super fun. I remember when it came out, there was all this static about it, and I was like, we had just come back from a con or something, and I was with the guy that was helping me run the show, and I was like, dude, you've been great all weekend. Let's just go to the movies. He's like, I don't know what's out. I'm like, I don't either. Let's just go figure something out, and we'll have dinner. I'll give you a movie. And he was like, cool. And we got there, and it was Pixels. I'm like, okay, we're gonna see Pixels, and it was great. It was great. So
Adam Sandler's next movie that's coming out, that's in production, it's going to be going to Netflix. I don't think it's a comedy. It's supposed to be a sports comedy, and it stars. It's about a former basketball recruiter tries to remake his career by bringing a player from overseas to play in the NBA. I've already lost interest because a basketball recruiter, I can't relate. And here's the top 3 cast, right? Adam Sandler, Queen Latifah, Robert Duvall.
That's weird. That's a lot of weird. That's a lot of weird.
Yeah, and like no one else. Yeah, I'm guessing Robert Duvall probably plays his dad. He's like, you got to get out there, son, and get back to being the recruit. Like, remember when you recruited Michael Jordan in the NBA? Like, I don't know. I don't know where Queen Latifah plays into this. Maybe that's his wife. I don't know.
I I still think to this day my favorite Adam Sandler movie. Well, two of them. I love Wedding. What is it? Wedding Singers?
Wedding Singer.
But I love Waterboy.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. Sure.
Waterboy is my all-time
little
favorite
girls are
Adam
the
Sandler
devil,
movie.
Bobby.
Yeah, women are the devil. I love freaking what's her name? Fruza Balk, is that her name?
Fruza Balk, yeah.
I loved her, and I love Kathy.
Vicky Valentine.
She brings in the gator for supper. It's like a charbroiled gator.
So going back to Will Ferrell, there's a movie that you guys should see that he did, or maybe you've seen it. It's called Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah, that's the one where the author's like writing his life, and like all these things keep happening to him. He's like, what's going on? Like, and she's just like, and then the bulldozer came through the wall, and it's just
yeah.
I saw that in the theater.
Yeah, it's a really cool, unique movie. And the only reason I thought about it is because Queen Latifah's in it. But yeah. If you guys haven't seen Stranger Than Fiction, again, it's not your normal Will Ferrell movie. It's kind of a comedy. It's more drama. It's got Pacino in it. Al Pacino's in it too.
Oh crap!
Al Pacino.
Yeah. It's a cool sort of off-kilter movie. So yeah, she's writing a book, and it turns out she's writing this guy's life at the same time. So it's kind of cool.
I remember seeing the trailer. I don't think I've seen the movie, but I remember seeing the trailer for it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Check it out.
I saw it in the movie theaters, and that's probably I don't think I've ever rewatched it. Like I remember specifically that one scene in the movie.
Yeah, it's not a movie you're gonna watch and then probably watch again, but you'll enjoy it. You'll like it the first time, and then it's like, okay, we've seen enough.
But going back to Adam Sandler, Airheads, yeah.
Oh, that's way back. That's way back.
Talk about guys who were gonna peak in the '90s: Steve Buscemi, Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler. Like that's that they start early in the '90s with that, and then Brendan Fraser's killing mummies, and Steve Buscemi's being weird in movies
and everything. Yeah,
he was in Reservoir. I think actually was he in Reservoir Dogs that same year? When did Reservoir Dogs come out? 92.
Is it 92? Christy's looking it up.
Let's see. Filmography. Oh, of course, there's a whole list. There's a whole other page for him. Of course.
Jesus.
He was a firefighter. Oh.
Yep. 1992.
Yeah, 92.
Okay, yeah. So yeah. Jesus Christ, he was in freaking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 movies before he did Airheads from 92 to 94.
Yep.
There was 9 movies. And you know how many movies he was in 1994? 7 movies. What the fuck?
Where the hell was Con Air? Was it 94? Wasn't it? Was it 97? Because that's when I remember first seeing Steve Buscemi was Con Air.
I remember him from Airheads, and I remember him from Reservoir Dogs, and then Billy Madison. Billy Madison, yeah, the one where he's
it'd have been Billy Madison. Sorry, I lied.
Lebowski, Big Lebowski, Escape from LA. He was a guy in Escape from LA.
I haven't seen Escape from LA in forever. New York, I have. But...
It's funny, like almost every other movie is an Adam Sandler movie that he gets credits for. After Airheads, every other year is an Adam Sandler movie that he's in.
Fargo.
Oh, Fargo, yeah.
Fargo, yeah.
That's a good one.
That was a more serious role.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Con Air.
I love Con Air. I'm sorry. I love Con Air. I apologize, but I love that damn movie.
He was a cannibal in that movie, right?
Yeah, he was like the worst prisoner they had. They're like, even like John Malkovich was like, "Oh,
yeah.
Well, we got a special guest here today."
Yeah, John Malkovich. John Malkovich has a badass name. He's literally Cyrus the Virus, but then they're like Steve Buscemi just plays like John Smith or something. It's like, he doesn't get a cool name, but Cyrus the Virus gets a cool name. Like,
well, guys, we've been doing this for 90 minutes here, and we're kind of out of Saturday Night Live. So let's do this. Let's wrap it up tonight. But I want to know give me your top 3.
Oh,
adaptions of the stuff that we talked about.
Oh, that's easy.
I want your top 3. Go, Jim. Go.
Okay. Wayne's World.
It's Pat, right?
No, I don't think It's Pat's going to be on anyone's list. Well,
only according to the data, only a few thousand people saw it.
I know, right? Like, there's probably more people who have seen who have seen It's Pat than have not seen. Or no, what's this? Come back to me. I'm thinking I had something clever for this. David, you go.
What's the top 3, Dave?
I'm gonna say Blues Brothers. God, I'm trying to think of the second.
Is number 3?
Yeah, that'd be number 3. Second one. Oh God, I don't know. I guess neither Roxbury and then Wayne's World.
Oh, our lists are very similar. Yeah. So mine is.
There's really, out of the entire list, there's really only like 4 that are viable.
Yeah.
So, and then like the other one's a sequel, and then like so
yeah. I guess I could have said Wayne's World too.
Night of the Roxbury is 3. Blues Brothers is 2. Wayne's World is number 1. Also, there's more people who survived the Titanic than actually saw It's Pat.
Oh my God.
That's good. That's good.
Better late than never.
So my list is the only one without the Blues Brothers on it. So number 3 for me would be Wayne's World. Number 2 would be Night at the Roxbury. Number 1 would be Coneheads.
Oh,
Coneheads.
Coneheads. I knew Coneheads.
Yeah, I might throw Coneheads on there.
Yeah.
The ladies' man.
And if I ever end up seeing the Blues Brothers, I reserve the right to change my list. But it's unlikely.
Now,
John Candy's in it, man.
Tom, do you have Coneheads on DVD or Blu-ray?
No.
It's hard to find. I've looked for Coneheads everywhere.
No, I don't have any of these things on DVD or Blu-ray. I don't have any of them.
Coneheads is hard to watch because no streaming, I can't find it any place. It was on AMC one week.
I streamed it. I streamed it at some point. Oh, maybe it's on my buddy's Plex thing. That could be.
I have Wayne's World on. I have Wayne's World on DVD, and I have Wayne's World 2 on VHS.
But yeah, I mean, when you're talking about these movies, 90% of them tanked. So getting them on any sort of DVD or Blu-ray is probably just like, I mean, what's the point? Why would they make it?
Yeah.
Who's gonna buy it?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Lauren Michaels is like, well, I got enough money from all the SNL cast members.
Yeah, I like the impression.
Yeah, I'll just find more ways to sell the Big Bang Theory. I don't need to worry about Coneheads on Blu-ray.
Dude, what?
He's not a Big Bang Theory guy.
Yeah, isn't that? Oh no, it's not. It's not. Who am I thinking? Lauren Michaels, Chuck Lorre.
Yeah,
Chuck Lorre.
Chuck Lorre, Lauren Michaels, Lore.
Yay!
If they got married, he'd be Lauren Lore.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Michael's Chuck Lorre.
Woo!
Yeah, Chuck Lorre.
It's like
Lore and Lore.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tom Arnold. They got married, and it's Arnold and Arnold.
Arnold.
It's the Arnold and Arnold. We're going to do this tonight. We're going to talk like Arnold.
So, guys, we are going to wrap it up tonight. We will be back again next Saturday. Now, we have a couple of options for next week. We have a couple of options on the table for next week. We're going to see if we can get a guest. If we can get a guest, then next week becomes Godzilla week, because of course Godzilla vs. Kong is out on Wednesday. I expect you all to go see it because we will be spoiling it. Be ready. Yeah. If we cannot get our guest, then we may push Godzilla week off until we can get our guest. And then we would be looking at doing a Jonah Hill retrospective next week, because I literally remember we just talked about War Dogs, right? I literally just went on Best Buy and bought War Dogs the other day because I was like, oh, that shit's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Yeah. So it's either going to be Jonah Hill or it's going to be Godzilla next week. As soon as we find out, we will let you know. But be sure to get out and go check out Godzilla regardless, whether you got HBO or whether you're going to the theater. Make sure you get it because Godzilla Week is around the corner here before too long, and we're going to tell you
Wednesday.
all about it.
It would be funny if our guest is Jonah Hill for Godzilla. Like, hey, we were going to do Jonah Hill night, but Jonah Hill's our guest, so we're going to talk about Godzilla.
That would be kind of cool. I think.
Hell yeah.
You think? Okay.
King Kong's going to be the winner, by the way. Okay, so yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week on Scene 1, Take 3, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, of course, please do all the subscribe and like and whatever you do on YouTube. I don't know what you do on YouTube. Just do it. Make it happen. If you're watching on Facebook, of course, give us the like and the share. And Camp Rad Dog. Oh, yeah, Camp Rad Dog. That's a thing, too.
Look at there.
Camp Rad Dog. Next week, guys, Camp Rad Dog. Cosplay counselors report to camp. So watch for that live show as well as we talk about that stuff. All right. So we'll see you next Saturday, a week from tonight. We'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.